There comes a moment, quiet, almost invisible, where everything changes. No loud announcement, no dramatic ending, just a realization that you've been giving too much. To people who were giving you just enough to keep you around. You start noticing it, the delayed replies, the inconsistent energy, the way you feel when you're waiting. And that's when it hits you. You're not in control anymore. Your mood depends on them. Your peace depends on them. Your happiness depends on them. And that is the moment you lost your power. But today, you take it back. Because this is where you learn something most people never will. You don't win by chasing. You don't win by begging. You don't win by explaining. You win when you master silence. And if you're ready to become that person, make sure you subscribe now. Because this channel is not for everyone. It's for those who are done being controlled. Part 1. The trap of chasing. Let's go deeper. Chasing doesn't start as weakness. It starts as care. You like someone. You invest. You show effort. Nothing wrong with that. But slowly, care turns into attachment. Attachment turns into dependency. And dependency turns into chasing. You begin to overthink. Why haven't they replied? Did I say something wrong? Should I text again? And without realizing it, you abandon your own peace, just to maintain connection. But here's the brutal truth. The more you chase, the more they pull away. Not because they're evil, but because human nature works like this. We value what feels scarce, not what feels guaranteed. And when you chase, you remove the mystery. You remove the challenge. You remove the value. You become predictable, always available, always responding, always trying. And that kills attraction, in any form of relationship. Part 2. The moment you wake up, there's always a breaking point. A moment where you sit back and think, why am I doing all this? Why am I the only one trying? Why am I the one adjusting? Why am I losing myself, just to keep someone? And in that moment, you have two choices. Continue chasing, or walk away from the version of yourself that accepts less. Most people, they keep chasing, because walking away requires strength. But you're here, which means you're different. Part 3. The hidden cost of begging. Let's talk about begging. Not the obvious kind, the subtle kind, the kind that hides behind long emotional messages. Over-explaining your intentions, trying to fix how someone sees you. That is begging, because at its core, begging is seeking validation. It's saying, please see my worth. Please treat me better. Please don't leave. But here's the reality most people avoid. The moment you have to beg for respect, you've already lost it. Respect is not negotiated. It's observed. It's either there, or it isn't. And if it isn't, no amount of explaining, no amount of convincing, no amount of effort will create it. Part 4. Why you feel the need to explain. Let's get honest. Why do you explain yourself so much? It's not because you're expressive. It's because you're afraid of being misunderstood. You want people to get you, to see your intentions, to recognize your effort, to understand your heart. But here's the truth. Not everyone deserves to understand you. Some people misunderstand you on purpose. Some people twist your words. Some people already decided who you are, before you even speak. So what happens when you explain? You give them more material to misinterpret, more words to use against you, more access to your energy. Part 5. Silence changes the power dynamic. Now let's flip everything. What happens when you stop explaining? What happens when you stop chasing? What happens when you go silent? At first, it feels uncomfortable. You want to respond. You want to fix things. You want to say something. But you don't. And that's when the shift begins. Because silence does something powerful. It removes your availability. And when your availability is removed, your value increases. Suddenly, they notice. They wonder. They question. Why are they quiet? Did they move on? Did I lose them? And just like that, the roles reverse. Part 6. Emotional control. The core of Stoicism. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. Feeling, without reacting impulsively. Caring, without losing control. Observing, without being consumed. Most people react instantly. They feel something, and immediately act on it. But a Stoic, he pauses. He creates space between emotion and action. And in that space, he chooses power. Part 7. Detachment is not coldness. A lot of people misunderstand this. They think, if I stop chasing, I'll lose them. If I stay silent, I'll seem cold. If I don't explain, they'll leave. Let them. Because the right people don't require you to lose yourself. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care without clinging. You love without losing identity. You give without expecting control. It means your happiness is not dependent on someone else's behavior. Part 8. The power of walking away. Walking away is not weakness. It's clarity. It's understanding that not every connection is worth saving. Not every person deserves your energy. Not every situation deserves your explanation. And when you walk away silently, without drama, without begging, without chasing, you send a message louder than words ever could. I know my worth. Part 9. Practical silence. Let's make this practical. If someone ignores you, do nothing. If someone disrespects you, withdraw. If someone becomes inconsistent, match their energy with distance. Not out of ego, but out of self-respect. Because silence is not about punishing others. It's about protecting yourself. Part 10. Why this path is lonely. Let's be real. This journey gets lonely. You'll stop entertaining nonsense. You'll outgrow people. You'll see through behavior you once ignored. And because of that, your circle gets smaller. But your peace gets bigger. And that trade-off is always worth it. Part 11. Your transformation. At some point, you'll notice the change. You no longer overthink messages. You no longer wait for replies. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You become calm, grounded, unbothered. And that energy, it's rare, it's powerful. It's attractive. Final message. So remember this, never chase. Because what's meant for you will not require pursuit. Never beg, because your value is not up for negotiation. Never explain, because those who matter already understand. And those who don't, never will. Master your silence, protect your energy, and become someone who doesn't need to speak loudly to be powerful. If you made it this far, you're not like most people. You're ready to evolve. So subscribe to the channel, because this is where you learn discipline, control, and real power. Stay silent, stay focused, stay dangerous, and I'll see you in the next video.